Okay, now the third design will use another feature entirely, but to start with, I've just scrolled back to this point in the design. We're just going to create this section here. Maybe 4 mil. We don't need any of this other stuff. And we'll revolve this feature here. So revolve around this axis here, new body. Now this will just form sort of the base of the design that we're going to create, because we're going to use a form to create that shape. So form, and forms you can use a number of different shapes or profiles. You can use boxes, you can use quad balls or cylinders, or there's a range of options, spheres, all sorts of things. In this case, I'm going to use a quad ball. I'm going to base it at the top profile here. It'll look like this. Initially, you can change how many span faces, how many the number of lines which are on the feature. And if you do it as a box, you can choose the number of span faces on each side. In this case, having fewer works better for me. I might drop this the initial size down to maybe 30 mil, and I'm going to put a line of symmetry on, a mirror, and that length symmetry where that green line is. So what I do on this side will be mirrored on that side. Now you can turn that on afterwards if you wanted the front and back to be identical as well. I'm just going to leave it like this for the moment. So you can always turn them on later on. And this form tool does take a little bit of getting used to and getting familiar with it, but you're able to grab either faces or selection of faces, modify, and drag that down. And do the same at the top. The tool will let you grab individual lines or points as well. So if I wanted to grab, say, this line here, just drag it up and create really unique, really organic sorts of forms. So I wanted to be maybe a bit squarer. I'm going to bring up this single point, square it off. So you've got a lot of control over the profile and how it looks. And you can just grab it from this central plane and you can sort of move it in any direction you like as well. So I might give this one a little bit of overhang. I'll bring this line backwards a touch. So this is the form tool. Have a bit of a play, try to create something unique. There will be scenarios where you might overcook it and you might break the feature. You end up having to restart. But have a bit of a play around. If it doesn't work out for you, you can always delete it and try again. So I'm here. Bring that one maybe up a bit. So hit OK, edit form. And when you hit finish form, you'll see sort of what it looks like with that collar that we made before. And at this point, you might think, I might need to bring this out wider and further down, or whatever you want to do with it. So it's an opportunity to sort of modify a little bit from here. So I can grab all of these ones and modify, and I might rotate it to this face, and I might use this feature here to just make that one wider. So we'll get a little bit sort of chubbier at the bottom. Might want to do the same on this one, so I'm going to do it from this axis, make it a bit wider at the top. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but for this demo, I think that might be. Grab these ones and bring them out as well. It does lock to sort of 5 and 10 mil increments. You can, if you zoom in, you can get fewer. So All right. Not super happy with that profile. Might just bring it up, and maybe just the central point up. So this is a little bit more organic and sculpting than it is sort of pure traditional parametric CAD modeling. But form again. Have another look at how it looks with the collar down the bottom. That's going to do for this exercise. So what we do from here is now we have our body 17, which is a big form, and our body 16, which has a hole in it. We want to join those two together, so we're just going to use combine. We click the two of them and hit OK. Now, one negative thing about this is when I go isolate, my hole will be filled in. So I'm going to have to recut that hole, but that's turn off those relationships. But we'll have to recut that hole in the bottom. So sketch on this surface, and it's going to be 12 mil. Finish, and we'll extrude that up and into the body will go up. -20. Get a bit further if you like. Allows you to screw it on further. It's a little bit more directional because of the profile that it is when you wind it onto your 12 mil bolt. So again, we've had that feature. I might even put on a fillet now that these are combined. We could put on a fillet and just blend out that surface between the two of them. Just like something like that. The lines in Fusion sometimes can be, if you turn the visible edges off, just have it shaded, you can get a bit of a better idea what it's going to actually look like when it comes out. Not very pretty, but that's sort of the example for the form tool. And of course, we're going to add our thread, modeled thread on the inside edge here. So just like you would on the other demos that I've done. So have a play around with the forms tool and see if you can create something a little bit different and unique.